How is it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running its Days of Play sale, and they're running a Games Under $20 sale. There's actually a lot of great deals as part of the Games Under $20 sale on top of the Days of Play sale. We're upping the budget. We've already done a video under $10. We did under $5. We're doing under $20 here. After that, I don't really know if there's anything else I want to cover, just because when you go above the $20 threshold, that limits the selections pretty hard, and honestly, I don't see that many great deals. Yeah, you got like Skywalker Saga with a 20% discount. That's okay, given it's a recent release, but you guys get the idea. Without any waiting, let's get right into it, and let's start things off with Mafia Definitive Edition, and let's throw Mafia 2 Definitive Edition in there as well. Of course, Mafia Definitive Edition is a bigger uplift than Mafia 2, as Mafia 1 came out back in the early 2000s, so Mafia Definitive Edition is like a true remake, and it's a very good game, especially from a narrative standpoint. Like, I think that's why you're getting into the Mafia games. Like, if you want a gritty crime story, Mafia is gonna offer you that. The gameplay isn't amazing, and it still feels a little bit dated, but, you know, if you're looking for a good game with a strong story, I think you're really gonna find that in Mafia Definitive Edition. $19.99, however, is pricey. Don't get that twisted. This isn't the lengthiest game in the world, and that's a significant price point, all things considered, so take that for what you will. Mafia 2, I really did enjoy. That's at $9.89. This Definitive Edition, ain't not a lot definitive about it, but it's still such a great game. I loved it back when I played it when it initially came out, and yeah, just a great game. And again, if you want a solid crime game, both are solid pickups, and I would play Mafia 1 before you jump into Mafia 2. Next up, we got Judgement on the PlayStation 5. It's 50% off for $19.99. The PlayStation 4 version is a separate purchase. That's 50% off for $14.99. This is a game that I think is perfect if you're trying to get into the Ryuga Gotoku style games, just because the Yakuza games don't have English voice acting, and the fact is that while I would play with the Japanese voice acting, a lot of you guys probably want to play with the English voiceovers, and the English voiceovers are pretty solid. It's also a game with a strong story, and it was built for the PlayStation 4, so visually it is like a step above from the Yakuza titles. You know, this studio is just one of the most underrated studios on the planet right now, just because of how consistent they are with their game release and the quality level of their games, and Judgement was a great one. Variety of content available, you know, a lot of content on top of that. It'll keep you busy for a while, especially if you're going for 100%. And just a great game all around, and then you can check out Lost Judgment, the follow-up, when that goes on sale as well. Alright, next up, want to mention a couple of Dragon Ball titles. Two very different ones. Dragon Ball FighterZ Ultimate Edition, 84% off for $17.59. Now, if you know me at this point, my days of getting super into these more technical fighters, even Arc System Works, as much as I like their games and I liked them in the past, they're just not for me anymore, but that doesn't mean that I can't acquiesce to the fact that they're really solid games. It's just I'm not gonna get, you know, super into it to the point where I'm playing online and trying to get really good online, entering tournaments. That's not really my style anymore, but this is a game that, you know, when I have friends over, if we're in the Dragon Ball mood, FighterZ is the game that will load up usually. The Ultimate Edition, you know, it's kind of a bummer because it doesn't include, like, everything. It includes Fighters Pass 1, which there are some notable characters in there. I think, you got Broly, you got Bardock, and a couple of other pretty notable characters. Broly and Bardock are just the two that stand out to me. Obviously, a super stylish game. You know what to expect out of Arc System Works, but $17.59, I think for the content you're getting, the quality of game, the FighterZ base game just is a solid pickup, all things considered. And then I also want to give a shout to DBZ Kakarot, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, 70% off for $17.99. Now, this is the base game. The Ultimate Edition is on sale, but it's a whopping $47.49. Like, I don't know about that one. That's pretty pricey, but I enjoyed my time with DBZ Kakarot as well. Obviously, it's a game that's a retelling of the Dragon Ball Z story. If you're playing the game, you're really going to enjoy it if you're a Dragon Ball fan. Yes, it does retell the DBZ story, but if you assess it fundamentally from a gameplay standpoint, it's not like a blowaway RPG. It's decent enough, but you're going to enjoy it a lot more just because of all the key moments that they recreate in the video game, and it's still very much enjoyable. And a good way to revisit the story of Dragon Ball, all things considered. There are some quality DLC components to the game. They add the Future Trunks Saga as a DLC arc, so, you know, you're missing out on that with just the base game, but, like, hey, it is what it is. You're getting the core 3 arcs of DBZ, and it's done fairly well, all things considered. Alright, next up, we got Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2. This, of course, includes Mega Man X through X8. My only qualm with this collection is, like, I feel like it would have been nice if we got X Maverick Hunter as well. Maverick Hunter X, I think it's called. The PSP remake of Mega Man X1. Them's the breaks. You get X1 through 8. Great side-scrolling action platformers. These games, for me, I'm incredibly nostalgic with, so that does, you know, kind of elevate my opinion of these games. Mega Man X4 was, like, one of the very first games I ever played, and then I went back and played everything else, especially with the help of the Mega Man X collection that was released on the PS2, but nonetheless, the Collection 1 is probably the better one. X1 through X4 are really good. X5 is really good as well. X6, X7, most people hate, and X8 is really good as well, so, you know, you're getting majority quality content here, and if you're into action platformers, I think you'll enjoy it quite a bit. I think 20 bucks is a good buy, all things considered, once again. Outer Worlds, 67% off for $19.79. Really good action RPG here. What I liked about Outer Worlds is, you know, it didn't, like, overstay its welcome. It's not the lengthiest RPG that you're gonna find, but I felt like it was pretty concise and to the point, and I really enjoyed that. You know, like, credit to all 100+ hour RPGs, and you can spend a good bit of time with Outer Worlds for sure, but it's also a game that I feel like you can just get in, have a good time, and then get out within, you know, 20-25 hours, so enjoyed that about it quite a bit. I thought the setting was unique. I thought the story was pretty good. Unfortunately, we won't be getting Outer Worlds 2 on PlayStation, but hey, thumbs the break sometimes. $19.79, I think, is a good buy. Unfortunately, the board-approved bundle that includes the expansion pass isn't on sale, but hey, what can you do about that? Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition, 60% off for $15.99. Skyrim is one of those games that is just always going to be one of my favorites of all time. Like, I played Skyrim on PS3. That version was atrocious, but it was my first experience playing Skyrim, and I still enjoyed it. Played the PC version, played it on PS4, played it on PS5. I've had a great time every time through, and I've completed the game on those platforms multiple times. Outside of the PS3 version, I think I only beat that once when it initially came out. Nonetheless, Skyrim is a fantastic game. The Special Edition, of course, is great as far as including the DLC. Anniversary Edition is not on sale, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but, yo, you'll get a great time with the Special Edition. You get it upgraded on PS5. And yeah, it's another game that you can sink quite a bit of hours into. Kind of a contrast from Outer Worlds. This is an RPG that has a lot to do. Although if you rush through Skyrim, you can beat it fairly quickly, but it's got so much side content that you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't tackle all of that as well. Next up, a game from one of my favorite studios, Vanillaware. We got Odin Sphere, Leifthrasir. This is a remake of a classic on PS2. Came out back in 2006, and maybe saying remake isn't the right word. Remaster, whatever you want to call it. It does have completely redrawn graphics, some gameplay differences as well, but they have a classic mode in there if you do want to play it that. It's just a great action platforming RPG. Great story in here as well. Pretty intriguing in that regard. Vanillaware kind of underrated for their storytelling, and 13 Sentinels was another game. Like, 13 Sentinels is one of the craziest stories ever, but that game, unfortunately, not on sale right now, at least I don't think. But Odin Sphere, Leifthrasir, really good buy. It is pricey given that it came out a while ago, but, yo, these games hold up in price for a while. Like, Odin Sphere for a long time wasn't dropping below even 20 bucks. So now that it's $14.99, I think this is a good pickup. Not a super lengthy game, but one that I think you're going to get your money's worth out of. Next up, we got the Metro Saga bundle. This might be one of, if not the best deal across the entire sale. I feel like I said that about a couple deals, but Metro 2033, Last Light, the Redux versions of those, and then Metro Exodus Gold Edition. Just 3 excellent single-player, atmospheric first-person shooters. Very heavy on the narrative. That's a big element on why you're getting into these games, but don't get it twisted. The gameplay in these games, I think, are rather strong. Exodus, of course, upgraded on PS5 as well, which is great. Gold Edition includes the DLC. That's fantastic as well. Games aren't super lengthy, but, you know, they're single-player first-person shooters. You guys know what to expect as far as length goes from that. I think I beat Last Light within the 8 to 10 hour range, so, you know, pretty serviceable, all things considered. But yeah, 3 great single-player first-person shooters. Strongly recommend, and the Saga bundle is just great value. And lastly, I do want to give a shout out to Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. The Gold Edition is 70% off for $14.99. Look, I think it's absolutely criminal. This game has not been upgraded on PS5. It's just like one of those classics that I feel like Ubisoft should just go back and upgrade it just because. Black Flag, yes, Ubisoft has moved on from the old style of Assassin's Creed games, but Black Flag to me is an all-time classic. Honestly, this is one of my favorite games of all time, and I loved Edward Kenway as a main character. He's one of the more underrated main characters, honestly, across gaming. Like, I know a lot of people that played AC4 do dig him, but you usually see Ezio get more of the love, but AC4 from a gameplay standpoint was great. So much content to it visually, even being a game from almost a decade ago. Yes, this came out in late 2013, so we are approaching a decade old on AC4 Black Flag, but I think it holds up strongly, and it's a game that, you know, I can go back every couple of years and replay just because I thought it was a great game, solid story. Naval combat, I enjoyed. I thought that was pretty well done, and 15 bucks for the gold edition, including some additional content. That's quite nice as well. And again, 15 bucks, maybe a little pricey given how old the game is, but man, Black Flag is at that level where I think it's absolutely well worth it. But that's gonna do it for me. Again, I think this is gonna be our last video covering days of play and games under 20. There's just not much more to look at. But yeah, some solid deals available all around. Check out our under $10 video. Check out our under 5. Maybe you'll get some good ideas on what to pick up out of those videos as well. But that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.